Yo, welcome to I Love the Game podcast. My name is Cam, and today we have someone great, a great guest I just brought into the show. He showed me real love when I come to Indiana. This is actually my first time in Indiana. We just came here on the spaceship, but some people fell off, but we're here today. Today I'm here with my guy, Ryan.
What's up, brother?
And right now I'm over here at the Omni Fitness, and he showed me nothing but love. So, Ryan, do you mind telling the people who you are, your name? And all
Yes,
that?
sir. So my name is Ryan Coleman. I'm a health and wellness expert by trade. I'm a speaker by passion, and I'm a life empowerment coach by purpose. I'm also the owner of Omni Fitness, which is a multifaceted wellness brand focused on helping individuals and organizations with optimizing their mind, body, and spirit so that we can sustain, surpass, succeed through this marathon we call life.
Yo, that's what's up. And yo, Ryan, let me tell you something. In New York, I've never seen anything like this, especially from people like us.
Man.
So when I come to places like this
Yep.
inspires me to do even more.
I
So I just
appreciate
want
you,
to
man.
ask you a question. What made you want to do a gym like this? You said you were in business for 3 years, you said?
So technically, I've been in business for 4 years.
4 years.
Omni Fitness has been alive for 3 years.
And you were across the street and you just came to a bigger location.
Yeah. So before it was
Yeah.
Omni Fitness, it was just Ryco Fit,
Uh-huh.
and then expanded on to Omni Fitness, which was ultimately the long-term goal.
I'm going to be honest with you, Ryan. I think you're going to need a bigger space next year because
Yes.
the crowd today was spectacular.
Man.
The crowd today was spectacular. And when you started a business like this, like what came to mind? What made you say, yo, let me start this business? And what was the purpose of getting inside this type of business?
Man, so honestly, a lot of it sparked from my own journey. You
Yeah.
know, I had always been an athlete growing up and all that good stuff. But once I stopped playing football, I kind of hit a point in my life where I just hit like an all-time low. I
Right.
didn't necessarily have a purpose, passion, or anything like that. So I got into the military, got back in
okay.
shape, got my mind right, you know, kind of got that discipline, consistency together. And I actually started training and stuff in the military. So I would train my unit and stuff like that. And then from there, I just kind of, you know, on the civilian side, I just started working. You know, I just had a workout page, just had a
Right,
fitness
yeah.
page. And I saw that I was actually inspiring people,
Uh-huh.
you know. So my first brand, the first thing, it wasn't actually, I didn't have no LLC or anything like that for it, but it was Transform Fitness online, which eventually evolved into Ryco Fit. But man, it was really, people seen me go from an all-time low to this person that was just in crazy shape, and they wanted to know how, you know. And I seen what it was doing for not only my physical, but my mind and my spirit as well. So I took the time to, you know, really, I became a reflection of the change I wanted to see, and I just
Right.
began, you know, pretty much putting that on to others. You know,
hear you.
I got a Army Achievement Medal for like helping PT failures, you know, pass the PT test. You know, I've had people on the brink of suicide who, you know, have had their life changed by fitness. So I think for me, it's my God-given purpose to kind of lead here in the sense of health and wellness. And what better way to do that than having a gym as kind of like your main hub?
Yeah, yeah. And as we all know, when we all start businesses, they say most businesses don't make it past
I think 3 years.
3 years?
Yep.
And you're at year number 4?
Yep.
So at what point inside the business, cause we all have droughts when we start a business. Like everybody, I feel like business is a new MBA today. Everybody feel like they could get into it and they
Yep.
could say, oh, well, let me say it's like the new artist. Everybody could say they do music, but everybody's not great at what they do. Let's just be honest with that. But when
Right.
it comes to business, numbers don't lie. So at what point did you see this business taking off where you just woke up and said, wow, this thing's really taking off. I can really see myself doing this full time and venture into other businesses. At what point did you see that happen inside your life?
Man, it was actually during COVID.
Okay.
So that in the top of January of 2020, that's when I began renting out a facility. It wasn't my own facility. I was renting out somebody else's. And then eventually COVID hit, everything got shut down. But because it was such a small facility, we had leverage and we were still training people like low key, even though regulations, we were supposed to be quarantining.
Right.
So that gave me the opportunity to really like tap into the audience here in Indianapolis that I currently serve. And man, I had just a couple what I call funnel clients.
Correct.
That would bring in just like every time like there was somebody new coming in, somebody new, to eventually like me getting to the point where I was one of the most popular trainers here.
Right.
And then that's where I kind of knew I was like, it's time for me to get my own space. And I knew I didn't need something too big. Like I think it was like I had 600 square feet of functional gym space.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
so it wasn't very big at all. But man, we had it popping out there. We use indoor, outdoors. My boy Nick, I got him in as another trainer. And then we literally outgrew that one. So we had to get something bigger. So I think 2020 was where I really started to see like, okay, like I can really lock in with this. And then the summer of 2021, I was like, yeah, once we switch the focus to community and stop focusing on what we were trying to, like what we wanted, and just focusing on what the people wanted, that's when things started going crazy, honestly.
That's what's up. All right, so let's just say next month, we can't say this word on YouTube, we're gonna get banned. Let's say that virus come back next week. How is Omni Fitness gonna be making money not knowing when the virus will go back?
Man, virtual, online.
Virtual?
Online, man. And that's something that we've been building up just because, like, obviously you want to have a physical community, but, with that virus, it definitely made you realize that you do need to have the readiness, to go online and be able to impact the people remotely as well. So we have workout programs, we got online coaching, we got holistic wellness guides. We do virtual workshops for holistic wellness and all that. So we're still building up on that, but like if something like was to happen like that tomorrow, we'd be ready to go.
Right.
So it's like, kind of when you already ready, you don't got to take time to get ready.
Correct. Okay, so I'm sure let's just bring Apple into this conversation. I don't know how often Tim Cook may read his emails or may read reviews on stores, and same as Home Depot. I don't know how often the CEO checks their emails or read the Google reviews to make sure their business is doing well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read a review from one that a customer left your gym, and you're just gonna let me know how that really makes you as a CEO feel, especially as a small business owner who wants to venture up and become that large corporation. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So someone left a review saying Omni is more than a fitness gym. It's a community, a no-pressure network that will also motivate and push you toward your goals. The trainers are personable and knowledgeable, creating a friendly atmosphere, yet encouraging you toward your goals. Highly recommend. Now, as a CEO, I see you outgrowing this next year. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see you here next year.
Right.
But as someone leaving a review like that, probably a stranger you don't even know, how does that make you feel? Does that make you go even harder, or does that make you stay stagnant with how things are going?
Man, honestly, I think it's more confirmation than anything.
Yeah.
Because, within our mission statement, our objective is to get those individuals to come in here and not only experience a gym, not only experience fitness, but experience lifelong and changing aspects to their mind, body, and spirit that will allow them to embody that in an everyday lifestyle. So man, anytime I hear anything like that, man, it just warms my heart because I'm a perfectionist. So I can be my own worst enemy, man. But the community is constantly affirming me and reminding me that, I'm needed, I'm a great leader to them. And so, when I do hear that, man, it's confirmation, but it also, I'm always trying to figure out different ways that I can add value to them because it's always love.
That's so right. And we got so many gyms out there. I can see Planet Fitness down here. I got Blink Fit. You got Blink Fitness by me back in New York. What makes your gym stand out? And do you see yourself making a chain like these other gyms out here?
So I would say what makes us stand out, first and foremost, is just like most facilities just don't take the time to focus on everything, and like how you see the different colors on the shirt, each of these represent a different pillar of wellness. So first and foremost, there's that. And then there's that exclusivity that, a lot of women, we train probably like 80% women. And a lot of women don't feel comfortable going into gyms because they got worried about people hitting on them, looking at them, a bunch of weird stuff, flirting, all that.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but do you feel like the quality goes down as a company becomes a chain? like such as McDonald's. I don't know if you've seen the Founder, the McDonald's movie. As they were expanding, the quality got a little less and less.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you feel like if you were to have a chain, I don't know if you answered my question, if you want to have a chain, if you have a chain, do you see the quality going down?
So,
and if you think it would go down, how would you prevent that from other companies?
I definitely think that's kind of been something that's kind of always pushed me away from not necessarily wanting a franchise or have chains, because you do see the quality go down, you know.
Quality over quantity, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
it didn't, you know, money is good, you know, but nothing's better than, you know, changing people's life in the name of, you know, God, you know.
Right.
So I think that for me, it's always, you know, people and community over money. And then in regards into us even like taking that step to becoming a chain, I see Omni Fitness as being a destination location, you know. So I just like how there's major cities and there's different spots, like in Atlanta, there's the Loft, and anybody around the country or even the world, they know when they go down to Atlanta, they want to go down there. So when people come to Indiana, I need Omni Fitness to be one of those destination locations where they're like, that is the most exclusive and unique gym in that state that offers way more than just physical fitness. So I'm gonna want to go there. And then eventually, you know, there is the possibility that we could expand it to like different cities, but there would maybe be 4 locations max.
Right.
I don't see myself having like a franchise of like 100 locations or anything like that, just because also I want to do more as well. This is just Omni Fitness is just one aspect of what I do, you know.
So it's more like an exclusive gym.
Yeah.
Something that people will talk about.
Yep.
That's pretty good. And like you said, as I've seen it, especially I'm gonna put Chick-fil-A out there. Chick-fil-A's expanding even more. So I know that they even announced they're putting more ingredients in the chicken. I don't know if that lowers the quality.
Yeah,
so that's what I was talking about before with a friend of mine. So that's one definitely great thing. And I also see that you have the trainers here. How do you take care of your trainers to let them know that they're well respected and you welcome them as family? Like, how do you take care of your trainers around here?
Yeah, so that's also one unique thing about like our trainers. So we have 2 different models. We have one model where they're more of an employee, and we have one model where they're more of an independent contractor. Regardless of whatever role they're in, they know that when they step in here, like, we're family. So communication is first and foremost, but also like knowing your personnel.
Correct.
So, you know, I got to take a different approach with how I communicate, how I lead, you know, each and every one of them. And then also like making sure that we have time and space where we're coming together, you know, and we're going and having team outings, you know, we're going and, you know, coming together, having community events and showing, you know, that togetherness first and foremost. But then always kind of opening up the space to them. Like if they have any issues to bring to the table, you know, they know that I'm not somebody that's gonna scorn them or anything like that. It's a safe space. So I think creating that safe, healthy environment where, you know, your team respects you as a leader and they're bought into like what you have going on. There's nothing that anybody wouldn't, once you get people to buy in, like there's nothing that they won't do for you.
Right.
So.
And like I was just talking about, Ryan, this event, I've never seen an event like this. I don't know, do you have the exact number of people that showed up to this event today?
Man, I know we had 30 participants, and then I think about 30 more people showed up. So it was about 60 total.
I'll tell you guys, Ryan, Mahogany, they had me killing myself out there. I thought I was gonna pass out right here in the sun. That's how crazy it was. I told Mahogany, I said, yo, if you hate your trainer, that means they're doing a great job. If you love your trainer, you want to see them every day, you're not contemplating about seeing them, they're not doing a great job. People like Ryan, I wanted to fall flat on the floor and just see myself dying right there. So I just have to give you a props to this type of event. What inspired this event at first? And where do you see the size going? Do you see it becoming like an Invest Fest? Because we don't have an Invest Fest type of health and wellness brand out there. We don't have no type of fest out there. So do you see this reaching that type of level? First, what inspired it? And do you see it reaching that type of level?
So first, what inspired it, we have a mastermind group here, a local mastermind group with all Black entrepreneurs led by Anthony Murdoch. And 3 of the members, being me, Marquise G with G4 Unlimited and the STEM experience, and Bryson with Johnny and Paradigm. We just sat down in class one day and we were like, we want to bring a unique experience that we've never seen before. And it was like, wham, bam, we had it. And it became a tradition from that point. And from the get-go, like, it's been nothing but sellouts because nobody else there's been people in the city that tried to emulate it, but it's the way that we do it. It's the way that we execute this. People that we have that come in, nobody can replace us.
What made y'all different from the people who tried to do it inside the city?
That I would say that literally it's the personnel, right? Because like, you know, we have a very unique team of entrepreneurs who come together, and with a lot of those other individuals, they just don't operate like us.
Correct.
You know, so when it comes to how we move, like a lot of individuals who are in those masterminds are kind of like, you know, big steppers here in the city in terms of like executing in their own sense when it comes to business. And then to get to your second question, where I see it going, so we actually have two premier experiences, as we call them. We have boot camp and brunch that we do in the summer, and then we have the Omni Experience Wellness Conference at the end of the year. So the Wellness Conference is what I see eventually becoming like a Invest Fest, right? Like we have speakers come in for that. It's everything we really embody. It's more of like an Invest Fest setting where you're being educated. We do live podcasts. We have breakout sessions. It's more of like the networking, educational, and just kind of enlightenment before you step into that new year.
So that's more on the Invest Fest side. This what you're doing right here, you just create your own thing.
Yeah, and with this, I would like to take it and like, you know, go on, like maybe go to tours and get in partnerships with different people in different cities, like even coming out to New York, you know, maybe getting with you, finding some local gym that would be cool with doing it. And, you know, it's like they don't even have to worry about it. We'll come in, you know, all they got to do is bring the people, you know, kind of however, whatever it looked like, you know, kind of from a marketing standpoint. But we definitely are looking to expand that collaboration to different cities for boot camp and brunch.
Okay. And this might go back to the previous questions I asked you. I could go to Blink Fitness and they got chains all over New York. Why should I go to Omni Fitness, spend my money there, and spend that traveling time to go to Omni Fitness compared to, say, a Blink Fitness, Planet Fitness, just any type of gym? Why should I do that?
First and foremost, whenever you go into one, and not to knock, because I'm never trying to talk badly about a different facility or no, I'm just speaking,
telling the truth,
right?
Just telling the truth.
When you go into those large, they call them box gyms, those people they don't care about you necessarily. They will charge for personal training, you know, $100 for an hour just to have you on a leg extension machine. There's no functionality. They're not making you better. They're just taking your money.
Something.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the rest of this programming where they're just running you through a machine so they could keep making money and keep reeling that in. When you step in here, you instantly got people that care. Like every single one of my clients, we have a personal relationship. And it might not be like I'm gonna go and step out and do things like that, you know, but coach, that's what they call me. They call me coach because they come to me not just for physical fitness, they come to me when they need therapy, they come to me when they need business coaching. We as individuals in here can offer them so much more. So it's like if you can get everything that you need in life from one person and one thing, then why would you go to one facility and then have to go to another one for something else and then for something else? It's like we the one-stop shop. We got everything you need.
Yeah, so, and plus, like you said, that you give out that family feeling. You just don't gotta go to a place that's just all willy-nilly. Oh, just scan your card, go in. Oh, you want a trainer? Okay, we'll charge you this amount of money. You may not know if you're working, improving yourself, or you may not. But you guys over here have that knowledge and you have that family-giving energy and welcoming energy for someone to come in and say, let me spend my money with Ryan. I know he's gonna take care of me. And it's all love right there. And like they probably gonna walk up in there and see the CEO up in there. Yep. You don't walk up in Planet Fitness.
It's not as personable. Like I literally had somebody telling me.
It's a close relationship.
Right. And I literally had someone telling me today, like, she was like, this is my first experience with y'all, but like the amount of people that I seen here that I know, like stepping into a new place, it made me feel so comfortable. So that's the beautiful thing too, is like, we'll bring in a new client and next thing you know, they're like, hey, you go here too. So it's dope, you know what I mean? Because it really is like everybody, like dead ass knows each other here.
Mhm.
So it's that family type vibe. Everybody's holding each other accountable. Like we get to debating about, man, it's crazy. Like just the everyday life in this gym.
Right.
Like you never know what you gonna get.
And we all business owners, inspiring business owners. We all have mentors, and we got people who lead us in that right direction. So I would say, and some of us just are born with that entrepreneurial spirit. And maybe we see a mentor. So how it all started with me when I was a little kid, an adolescent. My pops, he's a realtor, he's a real estate agent, and I'll see him dressed in these fancy suits and the way he conducted his business, and I'd be like, I want to be I want to do something like that, but part of business. It was just into me.
Right.
And then recently, like once I started the brand right after high school, you guys could like him or not, I listened to Kanye's Graduation album.
Yeah.
And people telling him, oh, you're not going to be a successful rapper. Whether you like him or not, the numbers are there. He may not rap like he used to, but
Yeah. The numbers are there for everything.
Yeah, when it came for graduation, I would just, no, not graduation. It was college dropout. Dropout. I would go into work. I worked at Kohl's. It was a clothing store, trashy store. I never liked it. So I would walk into Kohl's, and I would just blast it in my ear because I worked in the stock room. And I would just listen to each song, and it just resonated with me. So not only did I have a person who mentored me throughout the way and gave me that motivation, I also had music, and that music just gave me that oomph. Like I was just in the record store the other day. I just bought a vinyl. My friend said, why are you buying a vinyl for? You don't even listen to it. I said, I'm just going to hang it up, look at it as inspiration. It's motivation.
Yep.
He may not be, Kanye, no offense, you may not be a great rapper as you are now as when you were before, but he just gave me that motivation that and he had that trilogy. He had college dropout, he had late registration, graduation. All those, they resonated to me. And my pops, he would play them as I go to elementary school. So what was it that, or what is it that keeps you motivated? What kept you motivated in the earlier years? Because that's when it's the toughest times. What kept you motivated during those days? And if you had anybody, who kept you motivated?
So first and foremost, man, I'm more of a believer in discipline than motivation. You know, motivation is like it's a feeling that comes and goes. Discipline is something that I can sustain through every single day. Because there's gonna be more days that we don't feel like doing, we don't feel like getting up, we don't feel like pushing through. But once we create that system and routine, it's kind of easy. So definitely I would say discipline and having like set in stone routines and game plans to know of what I'm gonna do. So I'm the type of person, once I have a plan, only thing I gotta do on a day-to-day basis is execute. Now, in terms of inspiration, specifically for fitness, I would say one of my biggest fitness inspirations was start off with C.T. Fletcher.
Can you explain to the people what that means? Because I don't know what that means.
So C.T. Fletcher, he's out in L.A., man, and I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with C.T. Fletcher, but he's this big bodybuilder, like no bullshit, cussing you out. Lift that weight, you punk ass, like that. But he had this out in LA. He has this small facility, but man, like he would have people traveling from all around the world coming to his spot. You know, having workout competitions and stuff like that. So from that mental standpoint, like he definitely got me in the gym locked in. But he also was what inspired me to like get my own facility and stuff like that. Cause I was like, man, I want something like him. And then also you got people like Atheline X, who is very on YouTube, that's like very much into like functional fitness.
Correct.
And like he gets to the point where he's even coloring on the body parts of that he's using in a workout. So I started to nerd out on the science behind this, and it became like, not only do I want to give people a good workout, but I want to heal people.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
You want to change their lives.
I want to change their life.
Put an impact on them.
Yeah. Leadership, I would say John Maxwell. I read a ton of like books in regards to him. He's probably like the leader when it comes to that. Speaking, you got Eric Thomas. I don't think it gets any better than Eric Thomas, but also, most importantly, I have a lot of peers that I'm inspired by. You know, Indiana is probably one of the biggest, smallest cities there is.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
But there's a lot, they call it, I think my boy Murdoch said, they call it Nap Town, not because we sleeping, but it's because they sleeping on us.
Correct.
And there's a lot of people out here that are shaking and moving. And like how I mentioned that mastermind earlier, you know, a lot of those folks have inspired me. You know, Raymond Achille with Balance Period, Murdoch, who has, been the leader of that mastermind, but also my business coach throughout this all. And I absolutely love the way that he moved, not just from how he moved in business, but how he articulated himself. And I think that it's important as a black man in society not to only be able to walk the walk, but talk the talk as well.
Right.
So, I could probably go on for days just naming off different people. But man, yeah, I would definitely say that was kind of like a good core base. And then also I do want to toss in Jay Shetty on there, who's more of like he actually used to be he was a monk for 3 years, and now he has the #1 health podcast in the world.
And what's his name?
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
So,
okay.
He really got me locked in on the mindfulness aspect of it. And his podcast On Purpose, like I feel like everybody should tap in on there. He brings on, anybody from celebrities to politicians, but he brings out a certain level of vulnerability in these people that the world don't get to see. And I think that's pretty cool.
All right. This is one of the spiciest questions I might ask for today. So year one, I'm sure you went to certain friends and said, yo, I'm starting this gym. What do you think about? I'm sure you got ideas. So has that ever happened to you? Well, did that happen to you? Would you go to certain friends, like close friends, and say, yo, I'm starting this gym. What do you think about it? And then I'm sure you asked certain friends, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's just say it like this. You asking certain friends, and that's just one friend. He's like, nah, Ryan, I don't see that taking off. I think you're wasting your time with that. And then he sees your business taking off. And then a year later, he's like, yo, Ryan, I'm thinking about starting my own gym, and I see you taking off. You think you can help me? And he starts asking you questions all willy-nilly. Mind you guys barely talk, but once he sees your gym taking off, he sees a fest like this. Would you help someone like that after they just knocked you down in the beginning?
I have actually a real life success story about that. One of my childhood friends I grew up with since 2004. Like, no,
you're not saying no names.
Yeah, not saying no names.
But he or she know we watching.
They know. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. Honestly, that's
you can
why
send them this podcast once it's up.
And
there.
I appreciated them for coming like that. But sometimes they say, like, when you're in the process of elevating and you've been around people for all your life, they don't necessarily see you for that evolved person that you're growing into. They kind of see you for where you're at. So, at first when I was throwing out them ideas, telling them everything that I wanted to do, it was kind of going in one ear and out the other.
Because it's like stories they always heard before.
Yeah. And, it was one of those things where I had to actually take time and remove myself from that group. Like, I removed myself from a whole group, got a whole new ecosystem, right? And then fast forward 2 years later, that same individual called me and he was like, bro, it was the most humble thing I've ever heard anybody say. And he's like, bro, like, honest to God, like, I'm so proud of everything that you've been able to do. Like, you being able to see you and grow up with you and see you be able to create like your own community and do all this and just build everything from the ground up, it inspires me. And I'm coming to you humbly with the willingness to learn and coachability to ask you, can you show me how you did this? And can you walk me through that? And that's exactly what I did. Because I didn't have no bad blood in my heart, because I knew ultimately, you only know what you know. And, sometimes, more times than not, you got to kind of lead with action, A lot of people talk and a lot of people don't follow through. So it's kind of hard. Like, I'm not mad at them for doubting me. But when they see me executing, a lot of those same individuals came back and gave me my flowers. Now, there's still some that have envy and jealousy in their heart, but it's all love for me. It's like, it's never any hatred.
You kill them with success. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say that. I just say I move with love. You hate me, I love you too. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. All right, and last question. I know you got more things to do. You're a busy man over here. Let's just ask you this one question. Are you a full-time entrepreneur?
Yep.
So I'm guessing, well, I'm not guessing. I know it's almost like being in the NBA. You want to win the championship. We all know the Knicks going to beat Indiana on game opening night.
Here
so
we
we're just
go.
going to talk about that. But You got a 25-year-old,
Uh-huh.
$20,000 in debt. What's that minimum wage around here?
Man, I don't know, honestly. I mean,
Let's
I'm
say-
gonna say like maybe like $13, $14 an hour now, maybe. It
Let's
went
say
up.
he in New York, he making $17, $18 an hour,
Uh-huh.
and he wants to open up his own gym. He's into the fitness, but he don't know where to start. Where would you guide this one individual if he wants to do what you're doing? He's in debt. He has he's paying off around $1,000, $1,300 a month in just loans and bills and all that. What advice would you give to him before starting this type of business and moving forward?
So first and foremost, one thing that I wish I would have did better is leverage my 9 to 5 or the job that I had before becoming a full-time entrepreneur to actually build. And we call it in the mastermind being a side hustler. So it's
Right.
kind of having your main thing, but then also, building up that side hustle. So saving money, buying equipment, getting everything that you need, still working with people and doing taking the action, and most importantly, building a plan.
Right.
Some type of strategic plan, and not just like a 1-year plan. Like build yourself a 3 to 5 year plan that you can follow. That's also going to come with having some type of exit strategy out of your full-time position. But with that, you got to also be willing to take that leap of faith. Because I think financial stress and poverty is one of the main ways that the opposition tries to keep us down. Whether that's the devil, whoever the case may be, you're talking about. So even though you might be $25,000 in debt, you can't necessarily think about that. What I mean? You got to kind of move accordingly. Obviously, take the time to pay off your debt, but also don't use that as a crutch to not pursuing your dream and building your business, because money is so one-dimensional, right? And money, they printing money every single day. So what are we really stressing out about money when it's in abundance? You know what I mean? It's something that's never going to go away. So I would say first and foremost, just take the time to move in purpose and move in passion. And as long as you're doing and providing and adding value to the people, everything that is meant for you is going to come. But you got to have some type of plan. You can't just get out there and try to do the shit all willy-nilly. The only reason why I was able to even, get laid off from my full-time position and hop into full-time entrepreneurship is because I had a plan, I had community, I had the resource network. I had the network. That is big. I know they say that all the time. Your network is your net worth. And it sounds very cliche, but I didn't necessarily understand it until I started building these relationships with individuals like you, where I could have you sponsor my event, come out from New York, and everybody leaves with a towel. You know what I mean? And that's something, little things like that, people don't remember, are gonna remember. But and everybody here, that was facilitating stuff like that, I didn't pay anybody. They were just here off of the goodness of our relationships, and the oneness to be a part of something. And they know that they're gonna get the exposure. So that's, I think, when you're coming up, seeing the value equation is as long as you're adding value in some way, shape, or form, it doesn't necessarily have to be through money. It could be exchange of services. It can be, connecting other people to different, individuals within their spectrum, whatever the case may be. But never just go out to somebody and be like, hey, can you help me? Be like, bring something to the table. All right, if I'm asking you for help, what can you do for me? So it's got to be I water you, you water me, we grow together type situation.
That's one of the things I'm seeing today. A lot of people, they come to the table and they don't want to pay for anything. They don't want to offer no type of value. So what advice do you have to those who don't have the money to offer and they don't have the knowledge to offer?
So first and foremost, if you don't have the money or the knowledge, you got to take time to build up the expertise. Because you can't just get out here and start something that you absolutely don't know anything about.
Correct.
But at the beginning, you're not going to be an expert. So you just got to, do whatever you can in order to be proactive with the learning. And then from that point, once you have some footing in the ground, then you're able to, you have a service that you can provide. Everybody has something that they can bring to the table. I think what is the biggest thing is taking the time to identify what is that thing that makes me, you were talking about different businesses being unique. Individuals got to figure out what is it that makes them specifically unique, and why would somebody want to, get their service or receive their services over somebody else.
They don't have to reinvent the wheel that much.
No.
They could just probably do it like Tesla and just take a little nudge off of it and
It's copy and
add their own
it's copy
spin
and
to it.
paste, bro.
Yeah.
It's literally everything that I've done, I've took it from, several different people who inspired me. And I'll just grab a bit from there, grab a bit from there. And you gotta take things with a grain of salt, because not everything that they speaking on or talking about is gonna apply. But you take that, create your own algorithm that makes it uniquely yours, and then you start adding value. You start working with some people. Sometimes you gotta work with some people for free. You gotta offer some free services, get some free products, stuff like that. Yeah, intern, just to get some exposure. You can't. I was reading 50 Cent's book. He was an intern. A lot of people don't know that's how he learned the in and out of the industry for him to even be able to move the way that he does.
I believe Kanye too. I think
Kanye was an intern. It was like he was Dame Dash in them, right? Or was it even before then?
It was at that time, and I think he went for fashion. He went somewhere. I think it was London, Paris.
Oh, yep.
And then he came right back down and started his brand.
So a student of the game,
Right.
and that's why I love Kobe so much. Like, he's one of my biggest inspirations. Just because he's a student of the game. And anytime you hear anybody that talking about being a student of the game, those are the ones that are getting the best results.
Right.
So you got to become an expert, and you got to limit what it is that you are focusing on. So many people, just because you're good at everything, that doesn't mean that you should do everything. Like you heard me say, I'm a health and wellness expert by trade, I'm a speaker by passion, and I'm a life empowerment coach by purpose. Those are my lanes. And as long as I stay in that, I'm cool. So people just got to find their lane, stay in it. Don't worry about competition, because if there's enough room and there's enough people to serve out here for everybody to eat. But you got to most importantly figure out what that is for you.
That's right. And guys, what we're going to do, we're going to ask one more bonus question. He can probably tell you himself what happened today, but we're going to ask one more bonus question. How important is a relationship and having a partner when building the brand? And should people be picky when it comes towards that?
Yes. First and foremost, be when it comes to relationships and your partner, be extremely intentional. I was in a 7-year relationship before, getting engaged to my fiance.
And when did that happen?
And that happened today, actually.
Okay. Congratulations, my man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Congratulations. I wasn't expecting it myself.
Man, nobody was. Like, some people knew, but not everybody knew. I even forgot to tell Jabri, who had the camera, man. I dropped the ball, man. But it all worked out. But yeah, I was with somebody for 7 years, man. And a lot of that time, there was a lot that was learned, but there was also a lot of time, like I knew it was never gonna fully work out. So exiting that relationship, man, I started journaling. I was writing down non-negotiables. I was writing down exactly what I wanted, who I wanted, what I was going for, red flags, all of that. And then, bam, she came up.
Wow.
She came out, I give that all to God. But, we're very much alike and very different in a lot of ways as well. But she's 3 days older than me. Her birthday's January 21st. My birthday's January 24th, 1995. Wow. So we like two peas in a pod.
Wait,
connected.
what date?
January 21st, 1995.
Okay.
And then January 24th, 1995. So she's 3 years older. We coming up on our 30th birthdays. But man, it's everything. And the cool thing about her is I inspired her to step into her power as an entrepreneur as well. So like, not only do I believe in just eating in myself, but I always saw myself being with a woman that we could create a power couple. So, everything, she has a, marketing firm. So everything that she does aligns so well with what I do.
Right. And
we just bring it all together, man.
That's what's up.
And she keeps me on my toes. She keeps me constantly becoming a better person, a better man, a kingdom man. Man, and a lot of things that she does for me and plays and all that good stuff, man. I wouldn't be here today without her, honestly. I could genuinely say that I wouldn't be here without her. And they say behind every successful man is usually, a strong woman. In this case, it's a very strong Black woman who is out here doing extraordinary things as well. And one thing that I'll never do is strip her away from her purpose. There's probably gonna be a time in our relationship where she making more money than me just because of the industry that she in. And I'm gonna be right there behind her, cheering her on.
That's what's up.
Because I'm gonna be supporting her just like she supports me, because through me growing, I've been able to introduce her and get her connections so her business can grow. You know, so we very much just feed off of each other. We always on the same page. And usually when one is down, the other one's able to pick each other up. So we just balance each other out. And I think that it's so important to be able to go home each and every day and have that person that you know is gonna be there for you through the toughest times. A story that I haven't really told much of people, there was a point in 2021, damn, my voice cracked. In 2021 where I actually had 2 facilities at one time. I still had my older facility. I was living out of that facility while I was operating this facility. And she was right there with me.
Wow.
We, one of the rooms in there, we sleeping on a mattress, we got a TV, we don't got no Wi-Fi, we don't got no shower. We go into the gym to take showers.
Some of y'all women hear this, right?
Yeah.
They all want to
She was doing that shit right there with me.
These women want to set man out here.
Yeah. And it's like she saw the vision, she knew, and she loved me, you know what I mean? And like, did I necessarily have to be in that gym? There was other options, but I had a lot of peace in there, man. And it made me learn to live on simplicity, but having somebody right there that she didn't have to be there with me.
No.
But she chose to, she made the choice to the point where eventually, you know, 6 months later, we got our own place, you know what I mean? But yeah, she's been through the thick and thin with me, man. And she's never judged me any type of way. You know, she holds me to a standard, you know, as all, you know, partners should. It's respectfully so, but there's never judgment. She showed me what unconditional love looks like. And unconditional love is truly not having any sense of judgment and, you know, truly just accepting that person for who they are, where they're at, and as long as they have the willingness to grow and develop, you know, just being there with them as they do that.
That's so true. Yo, guys, on our way here, a couple people fell off the rocket ship, but we here today. We were able to talk with Ryan, pick his brain. So Ryan, I want to thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
It was all love. I seen your wolf pack yesterday. Your wolf pack, they showed me love. And I just want to thank you for bringing me out here. Hopefully we can do this again next year, and hopefully you're not over here.
And this about 2 years. This 2 years in the coming, because we met down in the story of how we met was crazy.
That's another thing, guys. It's all about networking. I found Ryan. I was looking for someone to promote my brand, and I came across Ryan. And then one day, I think it was the next year after, I went to Invest Fest.
Yep.
It was the first day. Boom, I finished the first day. Second day, I woke up. I saw a mention on my Instagram. I'm like, oh, somebody wearing my shirt.
Yeah.
I see 2 people wearing my shirt. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, oh, that's Ryan. I'm like, yo, you at Invest Fest? He said, yeah. So that goes right back to what I was talking about, like-minded individuals.
Yep.
When you have like-minded individuals, they go into Invest Fest instead of going to a club, strip club, doing anything like that. So that's one thing I preach to people. Just hang around like-minded individuals and you'll get to where you want to be. If you want to go to some A-star company out there, you're going to get to there. If you want to just go stay drinking, you're going to stay around the people who just want to go stay drinking and partying. So Ryan, like I said, I want to thank you for coming on to this podcast. Thank you for bringing me out to Indiana.
Yep.
And we hope to see Ryan back in New York.
We coming to New York next.
My man. That
was dope, man.
My man. But we got